Here we go live. So welcome everyone to Websites meeting. Today is August of 7th and Monday, first day of the week. So happy Monday, everyone. I'll share the link of meeting minutes again in chat in case you missed earlier. So make sure you mark your attendance, and if you got any item to discuss, you can add it in. So before we start the call, if you have webcams, don't be shy. Feel free to open your webcams. And with that, if anyone is joining this call for the first time and haven't said hi to the community, this is your chance. You can unmute and give a quick introduction. So do we have a newcomer today?
Hello everyone. So I'm Vaibhav Malik and I've joined the website meeting for the first time. And last week I joined the newcomers meet. So technically this is my second meeting with Layer 5 community. But yeah, looking
Oh,
forward to it.
that's great. Nice to have you, Apple. Alrighty. So look, I'm looking at the list. I don't see anyone else who is joining for the first time. So Firoz, just a quick check. Is this your first call or you have been here?
Hello, I have attended the last week's meeting, so this is my second meeting.
Oh, okay then. So it's time to start with today's agenda items. So first up on top of the list, we have an item from Chandra Vijay. So Chandra Vijay would like to present.
Yeah, hello Gaurav. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can.
Yeah. Okay, let me share my screen.
Thank you.
Okay, Gaurav, can you see my screen?
Yeah, you don't have to ask. We can see your screen, but yeah.
Yeah, the issue is created by Karan, and the issue is when we go to the layer5.io websites, the integration container size was too large, and it was taking a large space of website, and yeah, basically, and we are unable to show the number of integration on a small screen in a mobile view. So uh, let me the solution I have made. Let me share my next screen. Can you see my screen now? Yeah. Karan? Sorry, Gaurav.
Yeah, Chandra Vijay, we can see you are on the layfi.io in mobile view on Chrome. If you're sharing other tab or other screen, we can't.
Let me share the other screen. Okay, so here's the solution. I have actually decreased the container size in a mobile view, so we can show the more number of integration icons on a same page, and it is a responsive.
Yeah, thanks
Hello,
Chandra. Like yeah, you are going in the right track right now. Like there's some more improvement will be needed. Like the icons are too large. Like you will need to include the padding and just make sure the container div is responsive for all the screen sizes. So it gets shrinks according to the device width.
Yeah, it will shrink according to the screen size will decreases or increases. You can see that.
Yeah. Okay, so then a little padding would be good here in the containers so that the icons aren't too large.
So are you
And also
saying
just make sure the update the branch. So the last time we had a little dependency issue, so I reverted it. Just make sure that you are on the latest with the latest changes, so you do not get like mishaps.
Okay, I'll do that. So are you saying to give a border to whole container or a specific icons container?
Just make sure the container style remains intact, the same way we had in the desktop view. The icons are too large. Just make sure the padding is consistent. Nothing else.
I think I have ensured that all the parameters, and I think I'll check once again, but I think it will be a responsive with all the screen sizes.
Yeah, okay.
All right, Chandraja, I'll let Karan follow up with you on the PR with the changes.
Yeah, sure. Thank
All
you so
right.
much.
So thanks, Chandraja. So moving up next, we have an update on new designs for solution and product page from Prem, and I think Rex is also working on it. So any one of you would like to share?
Is Prem on the call?
Do we
I'll
have
go
Prem or
first
Rex?
with
Okay.
the solutions page, and
Uh,
then Tim will come up later with
I
the template for the product page.
I was not able to hear you, Rex, properly. If you could
I already
repeat.
do fine here.
Any one of you sharing Prem or Rex?
I'm sharing.
uh,
I'm sharing. Just give me a second.
actually
I'll be on it.
All right. Till the time Rex is sharing, I'll share a bit of context. Okay. Yep, Rex, we can see your screen.
Problem is that's the wrong screen actually. I don't know what's happening. Not the screen. It's
Um, no issues. Prem, would you like to speak on this? Till the time Rex is figuring out his Zoom.
okay. I think
If you go ahead, let me figure this out. Sorry. I don't know what's
let
happening.
me proceed with product section, and I think there is some
टुल्लू बंद कर देने ना मैं पानी बहुत बहा दिया तो का निकाल ही नहीं है वो सालू वापस का वो बाहर कहीं आती डंडी निकली ना प्लास्टिक के तो वो टूट तारी गई
Muting you.
I think can you see my screen?
Yes, Prem, we can see the screen if you would go on the designs page for once.
Okay.
Oh dear Lord. Please, for the love of God, with someone with bandwidth, would you please just share the screen so we can move forward? Also, Prem or somebody else.
And this is for
Prem, I'm gonna mute you, Prem, just because we
See,
unfortunately
browser,
can't hear you. Oh no. All right, good. Well, Prem, I muted you. I apologize. It's just your voice just isn't coming through. Also, Rex, your voice is barely coming through. It seems like neither of the two of you have bandwidth at the moment to be able to either speak or share. And so we could have. Not really. I heard you say, "Can you hear me?" But to try it again, keep going. Let's see.
I don't know what's happening. Let's
Okay,
try
we
and
I
see.
can, yeah, we could hear that. Keep going if you would.
Alright, so let me try and share again. Let's see.
Or Rex, you can share the design link. Okay.
Yep, good. Okay, well that was our last shot. At this point, someone else like Gaurav or Karan or someone else can share the design through Zoom. If Prem or Rex were to share a link to that design, I could share it, and then that way you guys could try to speak to it, and maybe that would take less bandwidth and we could hear you.
Okay, Ritika shared. Okay.
Gaurav, I have changed my networks, so I think I can be clearly heard right now.
Yeah, it's much better. I've opened
Okay.
the design, so you can speak on that. Yeah, Prem, you can continue.
Okay. So this section is for solution page. So first step we are first step we are just showing our users that and so what are the problems and what the solution do we have, and we and at the landing page he can book a demo and view all solutions which we provide, and just below that we are showing the section that how much product do you have, how many integrations, and how many contributors to this project do we have. And below this section we can see that we are featuring our features which we provide. So this all card section is for that. uh, yeah this all card section which tells the about the features which we provide as a solution, and the solution and we are giving some type of solutions of some problems, and after clicking in view in details he could go like us go to another page where he can see the sample solution. Okay. So basically this is it for the solution page, and I just want to know what all things you are targeting to achieve with this page, and what are the things which are missing in this particular page.
All right. I have a couple of feedbacks regarding the graphics.
Okay.
So anyone else has before I start with that? Ritik or anyone else? So okay, I'll go. So I mean, these graphics are good, but I think it's not currently supporting our design system kind of thing. The colors are fine, but we need to show the product images instead of these illustrations.
Yeah. uh, Actually we had a blank space, but better than blank space we had have to add an image, so we just added some relative image that can suit that place. So
Am I audible, Gareth? Just to answer a question there. Can you hear?
Sorry, Rex, I couldn't get you.
I'm trying to explain the use of those illustrations there, those
Okay.
images.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so the idea is it gives an overview of what the details page consists of. If you notice, there's a view details button there, which leads to this current page you're on now. So this current page is where most of the details will be. And then if there are photos from the product that is solving the proposed solution, the images from those products will be shown here on this page. If you scroll to the bottom, towards the bottom end, you'll see where there are placeholders for images. So this is where those images come in. This last three sections on the solutions page, that's the cost, incident, and failure oversight, I think AI remediation and the lifecycle management were supposed to be for specifically for a targeted audience, because we figured apart from providing solutions for the developers who are actually using the product, there are people who are actually signing up the checks to permit those devs to actually, okay, use layer 5's products to solve their issues. So the first 5 cards, if you notice, they're back on the solutions page, the initial solutions page. Those first 5 cards are already the solutions page that we have earlier. Those are, let's say, tailored for the developers that are using the solution to explain to them this is what our solution is providing. And then the other sections are more broken down to enable whoever is going through it, possibly people who are trying to see how these products actually solve the problems. And then they can see a breakdown of all of those things, and then hopefully it helps to convince them. So the idea is, to an extent, using the images from the products is fine, yes, but most times it can just become too much, like it's too much in their faces. When with every single image you're having, if it's not an image from the product, it's a logo or an icon from a particular product or an icon from a map. A little variety of the idea behind it, to give or pass the message across that, look, we are trying to help you save costs, we are trying to help you manage your infrastructure. And yeah, that's the long and short of it.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I totally agree with you that the point for the product section and the particular illustration. And regarding this last one, so how it works, and yeah, definitely we can give up the product description and what all the functionalities and ideation over there with the FAQs. That's totally good one. So anyone else has
sorry, I must mention that it's still in progress actually. Like, if you notice, it's all dummy text in there. And the timeline is between today and tomorrow. I am thinking we most likely round it all off, and hopefully we have something that can be implemented and deployed.
Gaurav, if you switch to a solution page.
All right.
I have a suggestion for the icons that we are using in this card. So like if you see at the icon that we are using for developer defined infrastructure and deployment by diagram, the stroke is kind of different from both of the icons. So if we can make consistent with all the icons with the strokes.
So, actually, I have tried that, but it was an SVG, so we can't change the stroke of that icon. So that's the reason it's a different stroke.
Also, like if you scroll down, okay, the arrow that you are using in the button, we can replace that with the one that we are using on our website. Like a simple right arrow icon.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea to use that.
Yeah. And yeah, always use SVGs. So for graphics or any kind of icons.
Yeah, they're all SVGs, all are SVGs. Thanks for the feedback.
All right. So anyone else has comments. This is still in work in progress from Prem and Rex, the solutions and the products page.
So Gaurav, let me share my screen and I will show product page.
3, 2, 1. Prem, Ashwin. Okay.
Yeah. Is it visible?
Yes, it is.
So basically, this is the design which I came up with for product section. So, so the first section, the landing page, will be a carousel, and here we can advertise our products, like something, some tagline, and some details about that product, and we can and a button where he can explore more about it, and this will continuously change within some time limit or time with time. Okay, then coming up next, we are showing all our products as a card, and first, as you can see here, uh, we are just mentioning what is the feature here, and a small detail about that but that particular feature, and if he wants to know more, he can go here in this section. He can know, he can click on it, and it will redirect it to and that particular measure page, on that particular page of this particular feature, and he can try it out with this button, and he can buy it with here, and this section here you can see it shade that where it is available, like if it is available as a desktop mode, or it is available as an extension also, or anything other, any other things. So this icon depicts it is available as an extension. This icon depicts it is available as an desktop application. So it shows the features which we are providing and them. And this section is making the user sign up for free trials at the same place where he have visited our product section. And here this is the form which he can fill and try it out. And the last part is that we are showing our plans to them, which the customers which they are uh, thought thinking to buy our product, and here he can see our total our offerings for the softwares we offer personal, team, or enterprises. And this is it for this page. So what's the suggestion? Gaurav?
If you go to the designs,
Okay, yeah, I mean,
first is like we can replace the Kuma image with another one that is inside the circle, because it is hard to see in the dark mode.
okay.
And what is the export that you are using for infrastructure text? So because it is different from what we have.
Actually, I think so. Yeah, this one.
Okay. Then if the circles that you are using below inside the hero section, if we can make them a little light more, so that they can have, so that user can have clear view of it.
Can you please pardon? Can you
the navigation that you are using, or ellipses at the bottom of the hero section?
ellipsis at the bottom of the
Hero section. Yes.
yeah, this one.
It's better if you can share the link of your design.
Okay, let me share the link of. Actually, it is local.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Anyone else has feedback for Prem before we move to next item? All righty.
So any suggestions, Gaurav?
And regarding the buttons, we are not using that rounded corner button anywhere, so we can replace those with the rectangle ones.
Okay, I will do that.
And for the
And,
colors I use for
yeah.
by now, it is like you are using Caribbean green, so that needs to be changed with the Capel green.
Okay.
And representing the desktop icon is good, but currently we don't support any of the desktop application other than the Docker extension desktop.
Okay. It is all manageable, I think so. And any other suggestions? Like sections which you want to add for better communication between customer and our products.
Let's have it on Figma as comments, Prem.
Okay. And Gaurav, I just want to want that a new page to be found with for products page. We don't have a dedicated page of products, so I just want that.
Okay. I'll catch up with you on Slack.
Okay. Thank you, Gaurav.
All right. So do we have Karm on the call? Karm, you have an item related to Safari bug fix.
Yeah, I have one. Um,
Will you share your screen?
yeah, sure. So here, the scroll up button is overlapping with the subscribe button. So I change the Z index of it, and now it is fixed. But as per the issue, am I audible?
Yeah, Karm, you are audible. Good. Yes.
Yeah. But the Lee has mentioned the
It's like such a cliffhanger, man. Oh, yeah, it's your first time presenting on the call, so we have to like break the ice. We have to harass you. Good. I mentioned something, I suspect. Maybe if you're talking about the overlap of the subscribe to our newsletter.
The Safari has problem with the subscribe section with that overlapping with the list section. But I don't have the Safari browser, so anyone else can test it. I have tested, but I don't find any problem with it on someone's machine.
Cool. Yeah. So you're looking for a volunteer. Anybody on the call right now that has Safari?
Yeah, I do have.
Oh, nice. Prem does. Okay. Prem,
so,
Karm, you can share the
check
PR so folks can check, and Prem will certainly do.
Yeah.
And we'll let you know on the PR. All right.
Okay.
So let's move to next item. That's from Shashank. So do we have Shashank on the call?
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes.
Okay. Let me share my screen. So yeah, is it visible now?
Yes, Shashank, it is.
Okay. So my task is to add a adventure of layer and five card on a handbook section. So this one, before there is a not this card. So this is my task to add this card in this section, but I have little doubt to add a card on a top or a bottom. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you, Shashank.
Yeah.
It's a great question. It's a great question. Does anybody, for my part, I don't know. But if other people have thoughts, so if we think about this for a moment, there's this new section. The community has a mascot. It is, to use Rex's words, a not so good looking stick figure, which, I take no personal insult to, but anyway, there's this new stick figure that, well, he's been around for a while. The stick figure finally has a name, 5. And the nice thing about the stick figure is that he is easy enough to manipulate. So to Garv's earlier point, we do favor vector graphics, like to the extent that we can always be using vector graphics like SVGs, we always want it to be. And so my point there is that we're able to contort his little stick figure body into doing various things, and hopefully some of those are comical, and hopefully some of those are endearing. We would expect that this guy end up showing up in various places. One of the points that when you can hear Rex, he makes a lot of good points, and one of his thoughts about the use, sort of the ubiquitive, or rather the pervasive use of this stick figure is that, when you see a cartoonish like graphic like that mascot is, well, it conveys a certain level of comedy, which can be nice, but it can also be, well, if you're a serious individual and you don't appreciate it, then maybe you think that we're here just playing around and the software isn't serious and doesn't get serious and sophisticated things done. And it really does. The projects really do. So we have to be thoughtful about the use of the mascot. Anyway, that's a little bit of an aside, but just saying, hey, we're introducing this new mascot and he's kind of a community-centric figure. There are new stories to be written. So if you're here and if you're able to write a short story, and by writing a short story, I mean just like a couple of sentences to describe a scene, and maybe if there's 5 scenes for him having an adventure, there's an opportunity for any of you to write out small adventures. So to the individual that's presenting at the moment, if you were to click on that Meet 5 card, so Shashank, if you don't mind, can you click on that card? Maybe his journey will come up. Mr. Yadav, are you still with us? Okay, maybe not. So
I'll share.
Okay. Anyway, there's some adventures that this stick figure needs to go on. And right now, Shashank is trying to figure out where to put this new, a new entry inside the community handbook that describes 5, that describes the mascot. Perhaps it doesn't need to be a new card itself. Perhaps if that was the original ask, maybe that's not necessarily the best ask. It might just be that there's a section inside of an existing, how do I not use the same word? Inside of one of the existing cards, existing sections in the handbook, maybe there's just an area that describes 5 and the fact that he's the mascot. And has, adventures, and where to go find those adventures, and how, if you're a contributor, that you might be able to help draw him and draw some new adventures or write some new stories. So Shawshank, maybe we should look to do that, and maybe not necessarily have a dedicated card. I don't know. If other people have an opinion, please speak up. If we do have a dedicated card, maybe you just put it in alphabetical order, because it looks like they're kind of in alphabetical order right now, sort of, at least so far, kind of. Yeah, kind of, not exactly, but anyway. And so maybe he would just go in the middle or something. I don't know. Or maybe that would be the point, was that maybe he'd be placed in the middle, and instead of it being just a very straight set of grid, maybe he's in the middle and some of the rest of them are sort of cards around him. I don't know. I'm just brainstorming. Shawshank, I don't think you can really go wrong. I do want to take this opportunity, though, to say a couple of other things about the mascot, which is what I was saying earlier. So Gaurav, if you're able to, the thing that we don't really want to do is click and have it go directly to his first story, his first adventure. This is his first adventure. Great. And it talks about him traveling along a trail of stars. And you all on the call have been helping adding stars and telling your friends to add stars to the repo. And actually, by the time he makes it to the end of it, to like the current position in his journey, it's a pretty steep slope. So he's really having a challenge, which is great. Like, keep adding your stars, keep asking your friends to ask stars. But now that now that this first journey has been announced, it's time to do another story. So Gaurav, if you don't mind, if you go back, I don't know if this is, if you were to go to your URL, your location in your web browser, after community, instead of handbook, if you were to say adventures of five and friends. And so maybe we should shorten this, right? But here's where we might start to post the collection of his various adventures. And maybe 5 has other stick figure friends, or maybe friends that aren't stick figures if Rex has his way. But so there's a call for help here. There's a call for some creativity. If any of you think that you have a small story, I'll give some examples here in a moment. We encourage you to write down a couple of paragraphs. That's about as long as it has to be. It doesn't have to be very long at all. If any of you are good with vector graphics, or just good with Adobe Illustrator, good with potentially with Figma, but he's mostly drawn in Illustrator, then it's a great time to jump in. So a couple of suggestions on like upcoming stories is that 5 would go off and have adventures in the cloud native ecosystem, and he would interact with various technologies that are out there. So Prometheus is a project. Great. So maybe he visits planet Prometheus. He doesn't have to visit all, they don't all have to be planets, but it's just an idea. When you use Prometheus, you can write out the query language for Prometheus. It's called PromQL. Sometimes people have a hard time with it, sometimes not. Maybe if he's having a hard time with it, he's sinking in the quicksands on planet Prometheus. He's trying to write the best query. Will our friend survive? Help him and stay tuned. And it's just kind of a small comic book series like that. So if you're into illustrations or have a couple of thoughts about an adventure that he might have, maybe it's not a full adventure. Maybe it's just like, you think it'd be cool if he jumped off of a ship while it was sailing. I don't know, whatever. He had to swim through some sharks, make it to an island. I don't know, whatever. Then come and participate. Go talk to Ritik. Actually, Ritik Saxena, he's on the call. He'll engage with you. So Shawshank, long answer to your question, which is, let's see if we can fit it in as a section inside of an existing area, maybe.
Or CTA in the handbook if we are not implementing the card section. the same we have for mesh map and the Docker extensions.
Oh, as like a project, is that what you were saying, Karan?
Yeah, like we want to like not implement the card. The next suggestion would be to have a CTO. Then we will be like redirecting us to this section of this page.
Oops, I clicked the wrong one. Good. Yeah, Karan, I missed that last part. You were suggesting potentially as a card on the project page.
Like if we are not going with the card implementation, we could either have a CTA, the same way we had for mesh map and Docker extension at the bottom of the handbook.
Oh, as a call to action, as a CTA, sort of, oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Sort of just for everyone else, like you see on the page where it says, follow Five's adventures and subscribe, that horizontal section, you know, Karan is referring to that as a CTA, a call to action. And yes, Karan is, I would say, correct that there can be a call to action that has 5 on it, and to let people know, hey, there's stories about 5, come and read them, and to point to this page. It's a great idea. If you were to visit the blog page briefly, there is kind of an opportunity for, you see the widgets on the right-hand side? There's a couple of, I guess, what I would refer to as widgets. There's a call to action to join the conversation on the forum, and then there's a couple of sort of blog native widgets, categories, tags, and then toward the bottom, there's another widget, if you will, to subscribe to the newsletter. Like there's an opportunity to have a widget here or a card here to say, hey, if you're reading these blogs and you like the blogs, maybe you like a short story about 5. So also like someone might suggest that it probably wouldn't hurt us to do maybe 2 things. So Shashank, if you're looking for maybe your next challenge, did we put up a blog post about 5 yet? Or his first adventure? Because it seems like a good thing to do. The other thing that might make a lot of sense is if you were to visit the resources area, the resources area just it has, you know, there's like a lot of collections in this site, collections like blog posts, collections of articles, collections of events, collections of workshop, you know, the various things that we've done. Seems like we'd want to have a collection of 5's adventures. So whether it's Shashank or someone else on the call, there's about 5 to 6 requests for help that we just went through. Somebody to do new illustrations, write new small stories, super small stories, create a sectional call to action to read about 5's stories, maybe a horizontal version, and maybe like a squarish version for something like the blog area. Potentially that horizontal sectional might be good for somewhere on a community page or a newcomers page. There was another call to action, or there's another request for help just now to get a new type of resource listed. So adventures or 5's adventures here. So yeah, so is anybody on the call that thinks that they might want to pick up one of those things? Yeah, because there's a few of you, actually, I think all of you that are here to contribute or get your hands dirty somewhere. It doesn't have to be on this site. This just happens to be our biggest site. So Gopi would like to pick up one of those, and Shashank. So Gopi, Darren, and Shashank, if you guys can identify which of those 5-ish or so things you might want to do, then that'd be great. You don't have to wait for one of us to open up an issue. You can open up an issue directly and yeah, let's do it. That's great.
All right. So let's move quickly to next item. That's from Vamsi. So Vamsi is not with us, so we'll be skipping his item. Next one is from Gautam. So do we have Gautam on the call? Nope. So again, we'll be skipping his item and we'll definitely review the PRs after the call. So Sagar, are you with us? Nope. All right. So who is with us? Who has an item over here? Abhijit, Tanmay.
Hello, Abhijit.
Oh, okay, Abhijit. Would like to present your item quickly?
Okay. So actually, the issue was that here the points are not in correct alignment. Here in books, in communities, blog books corner. So
good. Anything
so
else, Abhijit?
No, that was only.
Awesome, dude. You got it. You got them lined up. Beautiful.
Yes.
Do you have a next issue to work on?
Yes, I'm working on an issue.
Oh, nice. Okay. All right. Good. Your story here, if you're here a few months from now or a year from now or 2 years from now, it'll be an awesome story, because some of the most impactful contributors that we've had, they started with a spelling mistake. Literally one of the smartest contributors that we've had, he started with a spelling mistake. And what a beautiful thing, because then the next thing he did was 2 spelling mistakes, and it was just like super small iterative contributions, and his confidence just kept building and building and building. His engagement, our trust in him just kept building and building and building. And so I didn't mean to, I'm not skipping over the importance of what you've done, but just trying to hurry through and acknowledge that, getting those bullets lined up is helpful to the reader. And so way to be. It's a great start.
All right. So I think we can cover these items in the next meeting. And one thing I would like to bring up is this thing, badges.layerfi.io. The site was just up last night. So I'll share the link. So there's one quick call for volunteer. If anyone wants to work on it. So currently,
I actually had a conversation with Lee regarding this, and I'm taking up this issue.
Who is it? Gopi, is this you?
Gopi, yeah, this one.
Okay. Let us know if you get into any issues, and will you be making a PR by tonight for this?
Yeah, I'll try to do this by tonight.
All right.
Yeah. There's a couple of other, it'd be good, Gaurav, for you to walk through it. There's a couple of other items to pick up on this site. So there's, I don't know if you want to walk through that first one. Gopi, actually, now is a great opportunity for you to talk about your proposed solution.
Actually, the thing was, I've gone through this issue. First of all, the person who is making this site was, he had made this site using the React.js, but then after your recent commit, Lee, I guess it's you, it was converted to Gatsby. So when I'm going to start this site, then I was suffering with, I'm getting this error of saying React scripts library is missing because you remove this from the package.json file. So I manually installed that React script library and then ran the site. But then the public folder is entirely, ignored. So before this, I mean, like before your previous commit, the public folder was present, and then it is using the index.html present in that folder. But after getting converted into Gatsby, it is searching for the pages folder, which is not present currently. So I'm looking up with this issue, and what exactly this issue was. I mean, are we going to just change the source links of those images to the file systems, or am I going to run a map and fetch out every folder and do that?
Ideally, yeah. So yep. So that's great. And those are the notion that the site is converting from just React to Gatsby is in part to help with making sure that these static images are automatically published, but the site needs. I mean, Karan, I'm gonna feel free to unmute Karan. It was just noise coming through the mic. Yeah, so Gopi, we need to fix that. We need to get it converted to Gatsby first. So
okay. I mean, so I can also work on this. Like, I can convert the entire site into the Gatsby and then work on this badges thing if it works.
Great, perfect.
Cool.
To answer your other question about the images, is that right now the links to the images are just hard coded into HTML.
Yeah, I've gone through them. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so I'm going to try to answer your
so
question.
I should just fetch them from the file system, right?
Yep. But when you do, so yeah, and that's the question that you asked a moment ago. I'm going to help answer the question and clarify, because there's one of the ways that you described was to use something like a data file to point out like their file name and then add a little bit of metadata about them. That might be in part the way to go, because you can see each badge has a name and a description. And so ultimately what we want to do is help ensure that the site is, well, that ideally it's as easy to maintain as possible. If it was purely just images and we just needed to display them, we wouldn't have to maintain a separate data file, like a separate JavaScript file. But because each one does carry some amount of metadata, we'll probably need to have some small JSON file, some small data file that tracks, but hopefully it'll be a little less fragile than it is right now with those specific hard codings. So yeah, hopefully we're able to do a little more iteration and just like retrieve from file system dynamically, also like while at the same time referencing a data file. So anytime that that data file, a small JSON file that you would make up, it would look for images that have the same name. Like sharing is caring is an example of a badge. The file name for that is all lowercase and it's hyphenated. So it's sharing is caring.
Yeah.
Does that help?
I got this idea. Yeah, I can work on this.
Nice, good.
All right. Thanks, Gopi, for taking this up. And yeah, there are a couple of more items to be added on this website.
Actually, Gaurav, I guess, I mean, I will try my best to make the PR by tonight. But first of all, I guess I have to convert this React thing into the complete Gatsby thing. And then I'll work on these badges, right? So I guess it will take some more time.
Yeah,
but
so
I will try my best to cover this. Yeah.
Gopi, if you're able to get to just Gatsby today, that would be wonderful. And then
Cool. I'll work on this.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Gopi. Okay, so there are a couple of FAQs that I added today in afternoon, so I'll be adding more if required. So we still have 5 minutes and we missed these items. So Ritik would like to share this on modified background color. We are back to layer 5 items.
It is from Ritik.
Oh, it is from
Yeah.
other Ritik. Okay.
Yeah, but we can go through it.
So since he's not on the call, I'll just share his PR link so you can review and provide feedback. So Hiren, is Hiren with us? Yep. Hiren would like to present the layer 5 learning path resource blog.
Yes, I'm sharing. So here is the blog. I've changed the image that provided by Ritik Saxena and corrected all the mistakes that and these mistakes made all the changes to give us that Karan told me.
Looks nice. All right, we'll review the content once and yeah, I remember I requested to change these white images in the
By the way,
content.
Oh, your white images. Nobody told me to change this.
Yeah, go ahead.
oh, that image right there about how it is that we've architected the learning paths, probably not important to publish. Those are just design notes. So we want to make sure that the blog post is describing the value of the learning paths to users. Listing out the architecture is probably not. Like, it can be helpful so long as we're trying to help them navigate the site structure or the learning path structure. That could be okay. But we want to, yeah. If you remove that, then you'll probably end up removing the whole learning path as architecture. If that makes the learning path, if it makes the blog post too short, you can re-describe it. It's just, you probably want to use a different graphic to, help people nav.
All right. Does that make sense, Hiren?
I need to change these images with some graphics, right?
Right.
I go through.
All right. So we have 2 more minutes left. So Shavni would like to cover your mesh map mobile swiper.
Yeah, I'll share my screen.
By the way, we do have some agendas of measure diode, like we can discuss them too.
So
there are some important ones.
Should I? Okay, so earlier I worked upon the Meshpack card things, and I continued the solving the issues which were there. So at the tablet view, there were this design and the cards design both, which was there on the website. So I removed the cards at that resolution, and now before like the smaller resolution has the card thing. Then again, the cards were not responsive in the smaller resolution like the mobile view. So now they are looking like this. So any more suggestions for improvement on this section? So they are looking like.
Boy, Shirani, can you do it one more time? Can you show the current and then the proposed change?
This is the proposed change, and the current I have to visit the file. So currently this is broken.
Oh, yeah. Yeesh,
And
yikes.
also in the tablet view, what we can see is we had both the designs of the cards and the bigger resolution design and the smaller resolution design. So what I did is I removed the card at this resolution, and then the cards were visible. And these are in the mobile view, it is not looking good at present. So now it's looking like this.
Nice. Yeah, those are some good changes. The duplication of on the tablet display, the duplication of the,
Yeah, that's removed. I removed it.
nice. And then the
Now
yeah,
overall in all tabs, in all devices, it's looking better.
I think there's only maybe one other item that you might be able to attend to. If you expand it to more of a desktop view, in the card stack on the right-hand side, there's two issues. One is just like a lack of padding, at least for this card on the top, where the words visualize are well indented, but not. Yeah. And then the second issue is there can be different ways to solve this, but right now it doesn't necessarily look like that a user can interact with those.
With this, yeah, if we click on the below card, that comes here.
Cool. Yep.
In this design, and in the card design, we can grab the card.
Nice. Are we changing the hand to a grabber on that?
There's one continuous automatic this animation of cards, but if we grab the card, then the animation stops, and then we can grab the card on the left or the right side, wherever we want.
Nice. Yeah, if we take in CSS, if you take the cursor style and change it to, I think it's called grab,
Okay,
it looks like
yeah, I know, yeah. So I'll implement that.
So the thing I was going to say a moment ago is if you go back to desktop, I'll try to finish my thought.
Okay.
That is that it's not that people can't interact with it. It's that the site visitor may not be aware that they can, because there's a lack of intimation. There's a lack of, yeah, there's no clues. It's also that the font is like a lower opacity font. So it's not a white, and that can be okay because maybe it's not active, so it's not fully white, but there's some combination of things that's going on that maybe you might have some good ideas to change around. And it might even be the colors.
We can show some text over here, the smaller behind card, so that the user knows that there are cards behind this.
Yeah, so it's okay for me to say this because I chose those colors and they're not they're kind of bland, kind of dull. I'm gonna share for just a moment and say we've been working on improving those colors, or I think it's an improvement, and they start to look a little more like this a little more rich, or a little more. I'm going to use the wrong, a higher saturation of color, like a little. So this is the Meshery architecture deck, and you could maybe grab some of the colors from here and try those out. Ideally, like those colors should be one and the same as you would find either in the brand guide that a number of people have helped with, or like this dark jungle green and kind of. anyway, there's a potential improvement there. That'd be nice. One thing that there's two things. Aaron George is going to share real fast. So he's going to start sharing his screen. And while I say this, that I dropped 2 additional requests for volunteers into Slack just now. And I pointed those at Savio, but I don't know if he's picking them up, but there's a couple of them. And so for those that were volunteering earlier, there's more ideas to pick up. Cool. This, by the way, so this particular design, by the way, is bothersome for a couple of reasons. And Aaron, this probably isn't your issue directly, but I don't know that I've given this feedback verbally before. And that is that there's no indication, there doesn't, Aaron, if you were to adjust the vertical height of your window.
Hello, the issue what this had was when we inspect this, you could see the overflowing of participate and matter.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
That needs to be. Okay.
Yeah, so this was the issue. So Savio, Dias and Darren, they helped me a lot. So the issue that I solved was just remove some of the padding. And if you could see that the participate and matter, they are contained in the container itself. They don't overflow the container. So this was the issue that I solved.
Awesome. Good. That's great. Thank you. Back to what I was going to say, if you don't mind, that what happens, if you share again, Aaron, and if you adjust the vertical height of your window for me, the design that has been created here, the implementation, does a fantastic job of keeping that globe mostly above the fold. So Aaron, if you go out of responsive mode for me.
Okay.
I'll share and
the globe that it wants to, it's really nice, but it's also not so nice. It wants to stay above the fold. And it isn't necessarily obvious to everyone that they should be. So if you adjust the size of the window, just, I mean, yeah. Sure, yeah, I guess that works. I was thinking more of the vertical size but anyway, it doesn't make it necessarily obvious that there's something more to scroll to. It's this is the only thing, and you just click welcome aboard. Hopefully the welcome aboard at this point takes us to Slack, which is what I'd asked for before. Where does it take us? To the discussion. Okay, I don't know. That's not really coming aboard per se. I think we've made a grave mistake of the thing that I'd asked for on this page was just to immediately, how do people get involved? What meetings do we have like this one? Where do we go to? How do you join Slack? What meetings do we have? Are there mailing lists? Those are the critical things to show to people. And what we're showing them now doesn't show them any of that. So Rex, maybe you can help in us getting this reverted, or Karan, if you had merged this, let's revert this, because this is not doing. It also is, it's somewhat clever what it says, user, contributor, no matter, just participate. I don't know that that's how people necessarily read it though. I don't know that it necessarily, and that would be my fault. But the lack of information, the critical information that we need to convey, it's just gone. And so we're in a bad situation there. I know that there's open PRs that will help add that additional info, but it's been 2 weeks now, I think, of that being just like it is, of people not being able to find how to get to community. So we gotta either merge the other PRs.
If I could say something.
Yeah.
Vivek consolidated all the different PRs to put them together into one single PR. I don't know if he said he was already working on it, or if he said changes could
Yeah,
be implemented on
Rex.
this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Rex. Yeah, Rex. Sorry to interrupt. Yeah, we actually can't hear you. We could hear that you were speaking, but we can't make out your words.
Since we were going with the incremental addition of the sections, each by step. So like that was not the best one. So what Vivek Vishal had done, like he has like consolidated all the sections all together and like created a new PR, and also incorporated some of the suggestion that you gave regarding the using Slack redirection in the welcome award one and other responsiveness issues. So this this PR could be the good to go with the initial commit.
Yeah, good. That makes sense about going incrementally. It's just that in the meantime, over the last couple of weeks, we've lost the critical info. So we need to do something about it really soon. And this looks pretty good. Hopefully, Rex might have some comments with regard to the original design, but immediately it looks pretty great. But yet whatever we do, we've got to get the calendar, the Slack, the newsletters out there quick. Cool. So Karan, I'll leave it in your hands. If you would send word in Slack later about what your decision is to roll forward or roll back.
All right. So we missed a couple of issues. We'll be taking these issues in priority in the next meeting. And if you need any feedback urgently, feel free to drop your PR with a description in Slack. All right. So with that, let's wrap this call. So we'll meet next week with more updates on UX and UI. And if you got assigned any issues or you volunteered for any issues, make sure you not forget to open up GitHub issues, or you can make PRs. So with that, thanks all for joining. Make sure you subscribe the community calendar, and you can get the recording of this live stream on YouTube. So we'll meet next week, same time, same place. Bye everyone.